On today's episode of the Views from Section 400 podcast, it's MLB Opening Day, and every team can dream of a World Series, even the Mets. We talk some baseball, give out some predictions, and then we preview the Sweet 16 and give out our new Final Fours. I say new because my St. Louis Pelicans suffered a defeat in the round of 32. We'll talk to you guys soon.
And just like that, we're back.
A16, turn me up.
Welcome into episode 255 of the Views from Section 400 podcast. Today is March 26th, 2026. And baseball is kind of back.
Brian, it's opening day.
It's opening day as the people are listening to this. As we're recording this, we have that Netflix monstrosity of a game. But yeah, you're right. As this is released, it's opening day.
I'm not counting that.
At least it's not like a Tokyo series a week before the season starts.
At 6 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I mean, dude, it's opening day. Every single team is still in it. Every single fan base can have optimism. I know the real fans, like you can even be excited about the White Sox, man. I mean, they spent $35 million on Murakami. So I don't even want to say they don't have any hope. I think every team, for what it's worth, maybe the Angels.
They got Mike Trout still. The White Sox, Luis Angel Acuna hit 400 in spring training for him.
So every team, there's optimism out there. Even the Marlins.
Marlins have a fun young outfield. They're going to be a thorn in our side all season, I think.
Who's the bigger thorn, the Marlins or the Nats?
The Marlins. The Nats pitching, Kate Cavalli is starting today for the Washington Nationals.
Yeah, so, and I think they still have Alcantara. They sent Yuri Perez to Chicago, so they lose an arm there.
Yeah, I guess their pitching isn't much better, but they at least have.
Well, you'd think Alcantara probably rings it in a little bit this year.
Yeah, I did place I had my prize picks future parlay thing, and one of the legs is Alcantara under a 4.4 ERA, I think it was. So I'm hoping he can at least just pitch to a 4.
Yeah, I think that's attainable. Tough division to do it, but as you like to say, divisions don't matter.
No, especially not now. Manfred continues to ruin the sport we love.
He does, but no, I mean, I'm excited, man. It's opening day. I'll be optimistic about the Phillies. I'll be hyped up. I'll probably go all the way, totally locked in by June. Probably be World Series by August, and then nail in the coffin for the first week of October.
Yeah, it's interesting the spot we're both in because we're both like, I feel like we both have optimism, but at the same time, like with the Mets, it's almost a whole new roster. At least the pitching staff is the first 2 guys weren't here to start the year last year, and then no Pete Alonso, no Brandon Nimmo, no Jeff McNeil. So I'm optimistic about it, but I'm also kind of terrified that it's a whole new team, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. And then with the Phillies, it's like they're going to run it back, but how confident can you be in them running it back?
Yeah, and we can jump into, my thoughts for the Phillies this year. And I have sat on it. I have thought about it. And as much as they are running it back, Trey Turner's still there, Bryson Stott, Alec Boehm, Real Muto's back behind the dish, Bryce Harper at first, Brandon Martian left. They brought up Justin Crawford, Adolis Garcia, who I think I like better than Max Kepler. He's got to be better than Max Kepler.
He'll hit more home runs than Max Kepler.
He'll be like, even if he's batting 220, which, by the way, Kepler was right there or worse last year. So you figure the power's got to be better, and probably better defense in right field as well. So there's change there. It's a good change. I don't know. I like them bringing up Crawford. There's something there. Garcia, we'll see. But those are the only two real changes as far as position players. But they're adding Painter to the opening day rotation. He will have a spot. Now again, that'll depend on when Zach Wheeler comes back. It's pretty much going to be Taijuan Walker or Painter fighting for that last spot once Wheeler comes back. And I don't know. You'd think Painter should have that, but I mean, he could blow up. I mean, we haven't seen this guy in the bigs yet at all. So that's. I know it's not a lot of new, but there is new there. You always know that the Phillies, whether it's been good moves or bad moves, they've made moves at the deadline. So there could be additions there. I know that's months down the line, but there's stuff there. I mean, we talked about on the show before. I love the Brad Keller signing, right hand out of the right side. We saw him in the World Baseball Classic, couple shutdown innings, and looked pretty electric against big league pitching. So excited what he might have. Alvarado out of the left side, and then one of the best closers in the game in Duran. So I like the back end of the bullpen. The back end of the bullpen should be on paper and already has big league innings. One of the best, back end lights out, high leverage bullpens in baseball. So there's optimism there. I'm excited. Hopefully, if they have a lead late, there shouldn't really be too many blown games. And the lineup, we'll see, man. Harper played with a lot of injuries last year, and I know the numbers were down, and I know that wears on him, but there was injuries there. I'm not making excuses for the guy, but in baseball, if there's something nagging you, that does take a toll and the rag on your play. So I don't know, man. I'm optimistic that maybe this is one of the better teams the Phillies have had with Bryce Harper.
Yeah. I feel like two of the main things that you have complained about with the Phillies for not only last year, but maybe the last 2 years was kind of uninspired baseball and their bullpen just not being good.
Yeah,
For really, good's the only
for
way.
lack of better words, yeah. Dombrowski has fixed that as much as we've ripped on the guy, and trust me, there's plenty there to rip on.
Yeah, the bullpen's better, and then you at least are gonna have two guys playing pretty inspired baseball with Bryce Harper after Dombrowski called him not elite, and then Alvarado, who wasn't allowed to pitch in the World Baseball Classic, looked like he was about to cry about it. So he's gonna be more pissed off than he normally is. So you have a couple guys there that maybe the fire will be back, and the NL East is going to be for the taking this year.
Yeah, and you got to think Justin Crawford. You inject some youth into the lineup, that usually only helps your team. It kind of brings me back to the year when they went on a run to the World Series, when it was kind of Bryson Stott's first year playing every day, or most of every day, and that team was injected by the youth. And speaking of Stott, he didn't really have a great year last year. So you think probably got to get a little bit better this year. I mean, we'll see, but you figure maybe something happens with Bryson Stott, but injecting the youth in Crawford, I mean, that's an everyday player that you're injecting in, and you're going to have to battle through the growing pains, but there should be some fun stuff. And he's in a loaded lineup. There is protection there.
He's got enough protection and enough positional scarcity where his job should be safe, where he can go through those growing pains.
Yeah. And there should be where they can allow him to go through those growing pains and not have to, hey, is it going to be annoying? It's Philadelphia. Is it going to be highlighted? Sure. But they should still be winning games, even if he's having a 0 for 15 stretch or a 3 for 20 stretch or whatever these crazy stretches we see.
Yeah, I'm excited about Crawford as a onlooker. I mean, I'm sure he's going to annoy me just against the Mets, but he seems like a fun prospect.
I could just see he is a fun prospect. Carl Crawford's kid. Yeah. I mean, that guy was a fun player when he played. But I already see it now. Just Crawford just finding those gaps in Citi Field, just doubles off the wall, and maybe while he's young and has the youth, a triple here and there to just be a thorn in the side for the Mets.
Might get really annoying. Some of those hits might go to the Mets rookie, Carson Bench, officially made the roster. Excited about him. 400 in spring. College roommate with Nolan McLean.
Really?
They both were two-way players at Oklahoma State, and I think Benj gave it up a little before McLean did, but two fiery guys, and I'm sure they'll be very happy. Probably roommates again on road trips, I would think.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, usually those guys have their own rooms on the road trips, no? Or is it an elite status, seniority?
Seniority, and I guess it depends which city you go to. Like in LA,
Seniority
you
of
might be bunking up. In
Yeah.
Cincinnati, you're probably getting your own room.
Yeah, I guess it could go like that. And I'd figure the guys on huge contracts like Juan Soto, that guy's always got his own room.
Probably has his own condo in every major city.
Every major city. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, I mean, speaking of the Mets, Brian, like what overhaul of the lineup, it's what kind of Steve Cohen's motto has been. Whether he's spending $790 billion or not, there is always what seems to be massive change. I mean, even after they made the NLCS and were for the most part in it against the Dodgers, that next year there was still massive change. So I guess kind of take us and walk us through that, and where you excited and where you may be a little concerned.
Yeah, I still like it's been what 3 months since Pete Alonso signed with the Orioles and Edwin Diaz left to go to the dark side over there in Los Angeles. But I'm excited. I'm optimistic, but I'm very cautiously optimistic about everything. Like Bo Bichette's a great player. I'm so happy they have Bo Bichette there, especially after the Phillies were fighting to acquire him all offseason.
They had the contract on the table.
And Steve Cohen kind of swooped in at the last second. Maybe David Stearns. I got to give David Stearns a little credit, but I'm optimistic about the direction they're going in. It's just going to depend, will it all fall into place? But at least you're always going to have the saving grace of Juan Soto, Francisco Lindor, and Bo Bichette are good enough to carry a lineup through most of the season, which is where I keep kind of telling my brain, like, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. If Jorge Polanco doesn't work out, he's still going to play decent enough defense. He'll be fine. Marcus Simeon's old, whatever. But what did Jeff McNeil give you last year? He's going to play basically the same role. And there's young guys I'm excited, like Noel McLean in a full season. Brett Beatty is going to be the new Jeff McNeil, where he's going to play every day, different spots, sometimes DH, sometimes first base, sometimes right field, which is scary. But we'll see what happens there. I'm excited about it. I think I want to pick the Mets to win the division. The issue, again, like it was last year, is where are they going to get their starting pitching from? And at least they have Freddie Peralta and McLean. But beyond that, it's a game of guess who in terms of who's going to stay healthy and be productive.
Yeah, healthy and productive. It's a nice way to put it. And you'd think, I mean, what, Manea, they were trying to throw that guy in as the opening day starter. He should be the 3 or 4 guy. So maybe some
He's
better
going to start in the
matchups.
bullpen.
Oh, is he? So he didn't even make the rotation. Did Senga make the rotation?
Yeah, so Senga had a great spring, which honestly, great spring for him at this point is just making it out healthy. And he
Right.
did that. He pitched 9 innings. He's up to like 99 on the radar gun. He had an ERA sub 2, which, I mean, it's spring. You can't really take any stats into real consideration. But
Right.
at least with him, after what it looked like, him being healthy and effective is a good sign. Now, can he do that for a whole 30 start season? Probably not. But if he could just be a solid middle of the rotation guy that's healthy, that's a huge boost for a rotation.
Yeah, I think it absolutely is. And he's got to be the 3rd guy then, no? I mean,
Yeah,
are they going to slot him in second? I mean, I don't, is Peralta the opening day starter? Did they give it to McLean? I figured it's got to be Peralta.
Peralta's the opening day starter, and then I think Mendoza's just playing matchups with the Pirates.
Okay.
But essentially, like the hierarchy of it will be like in a playoff series, it would be Peralta, McLean, and I think if they had it their way, Senga, and then you have Clay Holmes and David Peterson as like the 4 and 5.
Right. And I think there's enough there with the lineup to where, like you said, should be fine. But you jump to the bullpen. I mean, there's got to be frustration brewing. Mets are up 6-3 heading into the 7th inning. They lose the game 8-6.
That's like Pete Alonso leaving sucks because that just came down to paying him like 5 years, and they could have done that. I know Stearns doesn't want to go above 3, but you could have given your all-time franchise home run leader 5 years.
Keep him a Met for life.
Yeah, and make your all-time home run record not abysmal in the 200s. But the one that really stings, like the Edwin Diaz leaving, that's something where you could have revamped the roster and just kept Edwin Diaz. He's your closer. He's not an everyday player that's really has much to do with clubhouse inner workings. Devin Williams is fine. He had a terrible year last year. I'm hoping he can bounce back. But you're counting on AJ Minter to come back from another injury to be your setup guy. Brooks Raley's getting up there in age. Huascar Brasbon has looked effective when he's not pitching 60 times a season, and last year he pitched like 80. Then his arm just fell off. So there's a lot of what ifs in that bullpen, and maybe Sean Manaea can become a good bullpen pitcher, and that's the answer.
You might need him to be.
Yeah.
And, Clay Holmes is already paid. Does he want to head back to the bullpen? I mean, I'm sure in a playoff series, yes, absolutely. But, I mean, the Mets are kind of at a point where, I mean, you're naming these guys, and I know you're optimistic because they're on the Mets, but, I mean, I'd be scared shitless with that 1, 2, 3. Raley, Minter off an injury, and who's the closer?
Devin Williams. And they do have
Or
Luke
Williams.
Weaver that came over from the Yankees as well. He's all right.
We saw some ups and downs out of him last year as well.
It's a lot of inconsistency. I think what the Mets are going to hope for in the playoffs, if they even get that far, is it'll be some combination of Clay Holmes, Luke Weaver, Devin Williams, AJ Minter, and then the 2 kids they have on the farm, Ryan Lambert and Dylan Ross, that we'll probably see in the summer. Ryan Lambert throws like 104 miles an hour, eats 10 raw eggs a day. That guy's a psychopath.
Well, maybe you have some there. And you got to be a little bit of a psycho to be a high leverage bullpen pitcher.
To just be a bullpen pitcher in general, I feel like you got to be a psycho.
You probably do. But speaking of psycho, why don't we be some psychos here and predict some not Cy Young, but some surprise playoff teams. And then we can maybe talk about some Cy Youngs and MVPs. But do you have anybody on your list right now of surprise playoff team that nobody's talking about?
Everyone's talking about the AL East. They're calling it the AL Beast, and that's unironic instead of when 2020 when the NFC East was called the NFC Beast and they were all under 500. But this is the AL Beast because they're actually all good. But the teams everyone is forgetting about, I feel like the Tampa Bay Rays can't be slept on. I know you just drafted Nick Martinez in our fantasy baseball league. He gets with Kevin Cash, might be a sleeper candidate to at least be in Cy Young conversations. Shane McClanahan's coming back. And the Rays are just he's on Baltimore now. He did. I think I forget if they didn't, if they just didn't give him a contract or if they traded him, but he's in Baltimore. But yeah, they get McClanahan back. And then you have Chandler Simpson, you have Yandy Diaz, you have all these guys that are like, and Junior Caminero that are just pesky, and they're going to be pesky in that division.
I was going to say, didn't Caminero hit 45 home runs last year?
He did. They also got to play in a minor league stadium, so I feel like that number will go down a little bit. But I like the Rays as like this pesky team that can hang around enough, and like the way it's projecting, where they think the analytics people think the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, the Yankees are all going to win like 90-plus games. I just don't see that happening. And if they all lose 3 or 4 more, never. If they all lose 3 or 4 more than they're supposed to, those are probably Rays wins. And the Rays are all of a sudden at 87 wins and probably that third wildcard team.
No, you're right. I think you're absolutely right. And, it's a good nod with the Rays. It just feels like they're, who do they got? What do they got? Like you said, Nick Martinez, who's been a guy we joke about in fantasy baseball for the last few years. And it's like, you see these guys just like, link up with Kevin Cash and like they turn back the clock and turn into like effective pitchers. And maybe it's just because he knows how to call a game. He knows how to put his guys in the right spots, and look, I was definitely joking with the Cy Young talk, but I was like, why can't this guy come in and be an effective pitcher for the Rays, who we just know somehow, some way, just get the most out of anybody that goes down there.
I could definitely see at the end of the year, we look at Nick Martinez and it's like 13-7, a 3.4 ERA, and like 180 innings. And we're like, oh, that's a good year from Nick Martinez.
It's a great year. I mean, borderline all-star year for the guy. But I mean, we'll have to see, how they do, because it is a tough division and also tough American League. But speaking of the American League, it's probably not a super sleeper because a lot of people, I think, are already highlighting them. But I'm probably going to double down on the Oakland Athletics win total, and I'm also going to double down on the AL West because other than the Mariners, I think the Astros take a big step back this year. So I like the Astros last year. They hit their win total, whatever it was. I think they can do it again. It is going to be tough for them to sneak into the playoffs, but right now I think they're probably right around a 500 team. If they get a 2-week stretch where it breaks their way, I mean, that puts them maybe into a wild card spot.
Yeah, when we were doing this before the show, I thought about putting the A's in there. I'm like, no, I'm going to leave that for Matt because I know how much you love this A's team. And they get Jeff McNeil in that minor league ballpark.
That put me over the line is Jeff McNeil in a minor league ballpark.
He has a batting title already. It wouldn't surprise me at all if he won another one. Now, is he going to be able to hit for power, and is that going to translate to team success? I mean, probably, but it's a fun team.
It's definitely a fun team. And, I'm just trying to think of all the guys. Obviously, Roker's there. Nick Kurtz coming off an extremely strong rookie year. Who's the shortstop? Jacob Wilson.
Led the AL in hits last year, I think.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of some of
Lawrence Butler and
Lawrence Butler.
Waiting on his breakout for a while.
He's another guy who at least can be a menace on the base paths. I don't know. I mean, is Severino still a pitcher there? I don't know.
He is, and
Sevy's still there.
Yeah, his stats were bad because of the minor league ballpark, but maybe he can adjust and get more ground balls this year.
Like Jeffrey Springs had a good start to last year, but kind of fell off a cliff as the year went on. So it'll be interesting to see, man. I'm excited to see what they potentially have. Coming into what I mean, you figure that the Mariners probably win it, right? I mean, they're the favorites to win the AL West. Texas could be sneaky.
The Mariners being the favorites just because they're the Mariners. They're like the Mets of
the Mariners. Yeah, the Mets of the AL.
And I think they're plus 100 to win that division. And that's just that number is way too low to not raise some red flags in my head. Like they had
I don't know. I mean, they're projected to win like 96 games, man. That's you don't think that's gonna happen.
It's a lot of games. It came down to the last series of the season last year for them to win that division, right? In a year, everything seemed like it broke right. They got 63 home runs from Cal Raleigh. Randy turned back the clock. Julio Rodriguez is playing great baseball. I feel like Josh Naylor hit a home run every game. It feels very like 2024 Mets vibes, where everything went right, and if a couple of those things go wrong, it could go really wrong.
Yeah, oh, that's what I was thinking of. Tyler Soderstrom, isn't he out there? I mean,
oh yeah,
throw him in left field. Another fun player. Obviously, Roker's there. Like I said, Wilson, Kurtz, Roker, Shea Langoliers behind the dish. Jeff McNeil as the veteran glue guy. Zach Geloff's there, who I don't, wasn't exactly fantastic.
No, he's like a Nolan Gorman.
It's a fun lineup, man.
The lineup's fun. It's the pitching that's gonna.
The pitching is definitely there's some cause for concern there. Probably Mark Leiter Jr. gonna be their best guy out of the pen. Hogan Harris is just a guy. Scott Barlow, maybe. I mean, I don't know who is Leiter Jr. the guy who shuts it down for you. I mean, I don't even know who.
Gotta be Hogan Harris started.
Or no, Mason Miller got traded, right?
Yeah, he's on. Oh, I guess the Fries will probably. He might take that second base job from Geloff at some point.
Who?
DeVries, I forget his first name, but the prospect they got in that Mason Miller deal. He's a middle infielder, and he's
Yeah, I'm not
very
even
good.
seeing him on here. I mean, I'm seeing is McNeil just going to DH? Maybe get a couple starts at second base on a Sunday when they need him.
Yeah, until
Kind of guy.
if Beloff hits 150 again, they might just put Jeff at second and figure out the DH later.
Yeah, but Jeff's legs and knees are kind of going, man. I don't know how much more you can throw him out at second base. You're saying, yeah, DeVry, I guess, is they have him listed as a shortstop, but
Could play second base.
yeah, I know that's not a problem. But yeah, man, it could be a fun team. But again, you brought it up. You go back to the pitching. You have Severino. Jeffrey Springs starts out hot, and who knows what he'll do as you get into the season. They did get Aaron Savale, who's a veteran guy
In the minor league ballpark,
I
that
don't know.
screams 7 ERA,
that
DFA.
could turn into a scene. Jacob Lopez, I never even heard of that guy. They have him projected to throw 120 plus innings. But yeah, I mean, Sevy and Springs are going to be your two starters. And the bullpen, like I said, doesn't get much better. But there's a reason why it's a surprise team. There's a reason why we're sitting here talking about who could shock, who could not. And I'm hoping the Athletics can be fun. Because, I mean, dude, they could be a fun team. They have a fun roster.
Yeah, it feels like Fisher, that guy, is just waiting for the team to move to Vegas. And then
The mayor doesn't even want them. The mayor keeps denying every little thing for construction, move the team, deny. I mean, they can't even. The mayor of Vegas doesn't even want him there.
Yeah, I hope for the A's fans, however many are left, sake that he finally will spend on some pitching, and then it could be a team coming out of the AL in a couple years.
Yeah, they definitely could. And I know again, probably not a sleeper team, but the Orioles, I think, didn't make the playoffs last year. Obviously, come into this year with pretty revamped team, so probably could have something there. I mean, that division's going to be tough.
Yeah, I like the Orioles. The division's tough, and you're counting on Trevor Rogers to be good again, Shane Baz to have a bounce back, Adley Rutschman to become a solid everyday catcher again. There's a lot they need to go right, but if it goes right, they have one of the highest ceilings in baseball.
Orioles, Reds, or Diamondbacks? Where's Corbin Burns?
I don't think he's in Baltimore anymore.
I don't think he is either because they had that one good year.
Is he in Arizona still?
I think he's in Arizona. Looks like Arizona.
Us not knowing probably shows how
yeah.
effective he is nowadays anyway.
He's in Arizona.
Okay. Yeah, that team's getting no talk. They've really just maybe they could be surprising.
Yeah, maybe they could be surprising. I think the lineup is where they have Corbin Carroll, but what do they have after that?
Geraldo Perdomo, who I'm still not convinced is a.
I know, but like he's
fine.
He's fine.
They just got Nolan Arenado. He's going to be their third baseman.
Like
Alec Thomas.
5 years ago, that'd be huge.
Yeah, I think they still have Christian Walker.
No, he got traded to the Astros at the deadline last year.
Yeah. Who was there? Oh, Gabriel Moreno.
Yeah, the catcher.
He's a fun catcher.
Is Lordy Goriel still left?
Is he still playing? He might have retired. Low-key.
I don't know. But that's what I'm saying. I mean,
there's not much there.
Might not be enough there to stay afloat through a full season. But all right, that's some AL stuff. Oh, and last thing I wanted to say was with the Rays. Did we talk about Cedric Mullins being on the Rays?
We were talking about that in the fantasy baseball chat.
That guy's going to be a outright all-star this year, no questions asked.
Yeah, no expectations down in Tampa Bay.
I mean, dude. I mean, you could it's written in the stars, no? I mean, Cedric Mullins is going to be a 35 home run guy, batting 280, and he's going to steal 30 plus bags.
it feels like it's now or never for him too, because if he has another really bad year, he could be playing for the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs and the Orioles charity softball games by 2028.
Yeah, that could be on the horizon. A lot of these guys could be if we don't have baseball yet next year.
That's
But
also true.
let's hop over to the National League, Brian. Do you have a team on your radar that you want to throw out there?
I feel like this is a very popular one, which kind of scares me, but the Pirates, they did almost enough with the lineup to where if Paul Skeens, Bubba Chandler, when Jared Jones comes back, it's a really good three-headed monster in the rotation. Maybe in a bad NL Central, they can make some noise. I know the Cubs are really good, but the NL, it feels like there's more opportunity for these teams that aren't so good, especially with the Braves trotting out like a ghost of a starting rotation with all their injuries. Feels like there's a lot more room to operate for these bad teams in the NL to make a run.
Yeah, and I think, look, you figure Brian Reynolds got to have have a better year this year than he did last year. I know they got Marcell Ozuna, which he can have some big hits and big moments if they need him to.
Much better baseball player than human being, Marcell Ozuna.
Yeah. O'Neal Cruz, you got to see what he's got left. Like, he's coming off like not a great year. I don't even know. I mean, didn't they have a number one pick who was like a catcher and right fielder, Henry Davis? Maybe?
Henry Davis. I think he's kind of floated back into nothingness. They have Spencer Horowitz. They have. He was a high pick. I think he's playing in the outfield now. Connor Joe might still be there.
Could Brian Hayes, or is he on Cincy?
He's on Cincy now.
Yeah. I mean, the lineup is still.
It's questionable.
It's still not great. I mean, you need Brian Reynolds to kind of like take that superstar step that you paid him to be.
Yeah, maybe O'Neal Cruz finally puts together a 40 home run season. Feels like if there's a guy that you're going to bet on to just hit a bunch of home runs, it's him. Oh, they signed Brandon Lau. That's a nice signing for them.
Okay, that's who they got.
Ryan O'Hearn in the outfield. Actually, I didn't know he could play right field, but I guess
I just pulled it up. I mean, Henry Davis there. They also have Joey Bart thrown in there as well, who, I mean, that doesn't move the needle for anybody. Brandon Lowe's there. Connor Griffin, Jared Triolo. I mean, shortstop. That could be questionable. Same with third base. O'Neal Cruz in center. Would that guy play center? I don't know. Brian Reynolds.
Jake Magnum as their fourth outfielder is fun too. He's a good player. Put bat to ball.
For what they have pitching wise, you talked about Paul Skeens. We know what he can do. Bubba Chandler, you mentioned. There's a guy, Braxton Ashcraft. I don't know if you mentioned him.
He's on my fantasy baseball roster.
Could be somebody there. And then, I think you're forgetting Mitch Keller is a guy who can give you innings. Gregory Soto out of the pen, Mason Montgomery, Dennis Santana, Mike Clevenger. I didn't even know this guy still existed.
I think he was pitching the WBC for somebody.
35 years old. I mean, I'd be surprised if that guy's on the team in July.
He's probably going to be DFA when Jared Jones is ready to come back.
I was going to say that guy has DFA written all over him. I mean, dude, the pitching's there, and it's going to come down to, is the lineup just enough to sneak in? And look, NL Central, I know you said the Cubs are really good, but are they? Lost Keller, lost Kyle Tucker. They're pissing off. Who is it? Switch hitter, Ian Happ.
Yeah.
I almost said Robbie Grossman. Pissing off Ian Happ. I mean, maybe not pissing off, but they said sign him to an extension. He said he's open to it. They didn't really move the needle.
Gave all the money to Pete Crow Armstrong.
They were just kind of like, yeah, I mean, that too, like a day after, then they say, and then they give it all to him. So I don't know. Never good to ruffle feathers on opening day.
Now, can you count on Carson Kelly to have another very good season after his first really good season in the majors? And he's a veteran. Like, there's a lot of what ifs there.
Was Mark Leiter Jr. there too last year? Or was he a Yankee?
I think he started there and then he went to the Yankees.
Yeah, I know he floated around. But I don't know. I mean, it's a combination of like Pirates are decent, maybe just enough with the lineup, and the division is the division. The NL Central and the AL Central, I feel like we're always like,
Up for grabs.
Up for grabs. You don't really know. And if you want to take a future bet, maybe take a shot on one of those divisions. I will go and who knows what we'll see. And again, switching to the NL here, but is it a sneaky team? Are they overshadowed because the Dodgers are there? I kind of like the San Francisco Giants and what they've put together. Another, a full year now with Rafael Devers. They added the pesky hit guy and Luis Ariz, who I think could be a really nice piece for them. Heliot Ramos, I think, came off a huge year for them. They signed Harrison Bader, who was a fun player. We both know well now as he's made stops on our team.
I miss Harrison Bader.
Jung-Hoo Lee, who I don't know if you remember got hurt in like May of last year, who was playing a solid center field for them. Again, just Jung-Hoo Lee, Luis Ariz, even Harrison Bader, just pesky hit guys who can get hits in big moments. And you had Devers. You figure he's probably got to be a little bit better this year. No, he's got to be coming off a year there. All the drama's kind of behind him. You go through a full off season. You figure Devers got to figure it out. And also, he might be a dinosaur, but Matt Chapman's still hanging around.
He's not that old. He's getting up there.
Is he not? I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe he's young. I don't know.
He's probably like third. I don't think he's young, but he's probably like 32.
So
which you could still get a very productive season.
You could have a season out of, 100%.
32.
And, so definitely could get something there. I really like the starting rotation. Logan Webb. I think Robbie Ray finds another gear. Falls off a little bit after that. Landon Root, we'll see what he has in kind of his first big league season. Adrian Hauser's a guy. Tyler Mallory's a guy. But like Logan Webb and Robbie Webb, Logan Webb, I'm talking too fast, and Robbie Ray should be enough to kind of like win you most series. And in baseball, you don't have to sweep. You just got to win your series.
Yeah, I like that. They also have a kid, Hunter Waldrep, I think his name is. He was a big prospect. He was good when he first came up. Then they kind of really played with him where they were like, oh, you're going to be in the bullpen. No, you're going to start. And I think his confidence wavered. But if they can get him back to being the top prospect, hard-throwing starter, that's another piece that could really help round out that rotation. I like the Giants. I like that call.
Yeah, something there, something to watch. And, they obviously were recording, so who knows. Is that game on national TV, or do we have to do a weird Peacock, Netflix?
It's Netflix.
Okay, so we can't even watch opening night baseball.
Nope, and they got the hand from Wednesday, the show, to throw out the first pitch. So it's all like Netflixed out. It's going to be an ad for Netflix for 3 hours.
That's not fun. All right, well, maybe there'll be a stream somewhere to watch it, but whatever. Interesting stuff. All right, let's rapid fire try and fly through here. I know you want to get some Cy Youngs, MVPs are there, World Series matchup and winner as well. So let's see what you got.
All right, we'll go Cy Young first. In the NL, Paul Skeens is hard to fade, but I am going with Brandon Woodruff as a sleeper. In a bad NL Central, I know they don't play the divisions as much now, but he's got to be their ace without Freddie Peralta. He's shown he can be a very good pitcher. Why not? Give me Brandon Woodruff. I think it was like plus 2,000 odds.
Love that call. I drafted him last night, so appreciate the nod there.
In the AL, I'm going with Garrett Crochet. I just don't want to go with Skubal again. Not that I don't like the guy, but let's make it fun, not boring. And then Shane McClanahan, if he can just pitch enough innings, I like him as a sleeper. He's a
Mm.
bigger sleeper than Woodruff, but he's shown he can be one of the best pitchers in baseball if he just stays on the field.
Yeah, health is wealth. You know that it's just what you got to be. But I appreciate the sleeper nods there because I don't care about the favorites. I go with the sleepers. But for my National League, a guy who finished close there and a guy that hopefully will carry the Phillies, Chris Sanchez. I mean, he was right there last year. They paid him to be the guy. He's the opening day starter. We know Wheeler will be in the mix, but this guy might just pitch so well to where he's just going to sit at the top of the rotation. He could be game one starter in the playoffs when we get there, regardless of what Wheeler's doing. Who knows? Rob Thompson, which I don't know if we want to give Rob Thompson tough decisions to have to make, but who knows what kind of call. I mean, this guy has been that good to where you might have to make a tough decision.
Best changeup in all of baseball for Christopher Sanchez.
Yeah, and only should get better. I mean, I think he pitched for the Dominican in the World Baseball Classic, and I think he's the Phillies again can't take much with spring training, but the Phillies rotation in spring was as perfect as it could have went.
And Aaron Nola was probably the best pitcher in the World Baseball Classic for what he did for Team Italy.
Yeah, but just wait for the Toyota RAV4th inning, and it'll all go to shit.
Probably.
Most likely. I mean, that's his blow up inning, unfortunately. You just get Tom McCarthy, he calls it out, and then it's like disaster from there.
Poor Tom McCarthy is going to have to go from calling crazy March Madness games to doing Toyota RAV4 fifth inning reads.
No, it's the Toyota RAV4th inning, Brian.
Oh, fourth, that makes more sense.
That's why they have it. Because it's the Toyota RAV4. The Toyota RAV4. That's notoriously Noah's blow-up inning. But, I'll give you that for the National League. I don't know where to really go here with the American League, but if the guy can put enough innings together, and I'll go sleeper for, I didn't give it a National League sleeper because I won't Sanchez, but a sleeper for the National League or American League. And I don't know. It's going to be tough because I don't know if he's going to pitch or how much he's going to pitch. I don't think he's going to get there, but if they gave him a full slate, I love Shane Bieber to be lights out again. I don't think he's going to pitch enough. He probably isn't going to pitch enough, so it's not going to get there. But that would be a really fun call, and I would love to see that. I'm trying to see if I could drum up another guy. Here's a sleeper one that Brian will love. Give me Jacob deGrom for the Texas Rangers.
Yeah, I like that. DeGrom has slowly been, I think, for like a season and a half now, getting closer and closer to what he used to be. I don't think he'll ever be the dominant pitcher he was in 18 and 19, but if he can just be 75% of that, sure.
I mean,
that's enough to win a Cy Young.
That's enough to contend.
If Skubal and Crochet both have not their best years, that's enough.
Yeah. And again, these are obviously sleeper picks. I'm not picking Shane Bieber and Jacob deGrom to win the Cy Young. I mean, but Skubal and Crochet have such a strong grip on that, especially Skubal. Like, I just, again, I know we say they don't play the division that much, but being in that division, I mean, the Royals could take a step. We know the Guardians can be pesky, but it's just like you should have favorable matchups all year.
Yeah. It's hard to bet against Skubal. He's going to get paid $50+ million a year for a reason.
Yeah, and is Chris Sanchez even, is that even like decent odds, or it might be just because of?
I think he was plus 900 when I was looking at the odds, which is solid.
There's juice for a guy who can do it.
Yeah.
Problem is, I think not that they're the same pitcher, but I think why Skeens always gets the nod is because of the strikeouts, right? Which, I mean, we've seen Sanchez strike guys out.
He's also pitched to a 2 ERA his first 2 years. I mean, the guy has just been.
Yeah, he's been lights out. But all right, that's what we got there. We throwing out some MVP stuff here.
Yeah, quick MVPs, and then we'll just do a very quick World Series that I'm sure will be perfect by the time it's all said and done.
Totally.
In the MVP, I didn't want to go with Shohei and Judge, so I went with Bobby Witt and Juan Soto. Soto said he wanted to steal an MVP from Otani, so let's see it, Juan. Let's go 50.
Yeah, I think Otani's gonna, and I hate to say it, knock on wood, but he's probably gonna have to get injured for somebody to snipe. And I mean, the guy's showing no signs of slowing down. He can bat and he can pitch. I mean, I don't see it happening, but you never know, man.
There is a world where he can, because now he's pitching. So if he has like 3 rough starts in a row, and that kind of maybe goes to his head a little bit, which he seemed like a robot. So I don't know if he has emotions, especially after throwing his interpreter under the bus, life in prison. But
Right.
if he just has like a couple bad starts, maybe Dave Roberts is like, hey, maybe don't pitch. And he's like, no, I want to pitch. And a month-long slump is enough for Juan Soto to be like, well, if I go 50-40, give me the vote.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we'll see what happens, but I'm probably not going to bet it. I'd rather take some shots at Cy Young than at that. But super long shot, Rafael Devers. I really like Devers this year. And I guess so did the NL. AL, I don't see. Excuse me, maybe it's an omen, but AL, I don't see how it's anybody other than Aaron Judge. I'm trying to think of some nonsense I could throw out there, but it's Judge and Otani, man.
It seems like it's gonna be that way. I mean, it's your other options are like Bobby Witt, maybe Jose Ramirez finally gets over the hump and gets one. If Cal Raleigh can replicate.
I think Cal Raleigh takes a big step back this year.
Yeah, that's the thing.
The guy batted like what, 250?
There was a stretch towards the end of last
60
year
home runs
where he had like 30 hits and 28 of those were home runs. He was only hitting home runs.
So I don't know. I don't know if I can get there with Cal Raleigh. I think a big step back is on the cards. But yeah. All right. That was MVP's World Series. Who do you got?
Unfortunately, for a third straight year, I have the Los Angeles Dodgers winning it. I feel like baseball needs this going into the lockout. Not that everyone's already pissed off at the Dodgers, but a three-peat, which is kind of unheard of in baseball, is really what baseball needs to get it right. So I have the Dodgers beating the Tigers out of the AL in a surprise. Skubal wants his contract. He might throw 6 games in the postseason and go 6-0 with a 1 ERA. Dodgers over Tigers in 6 games.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm always going to pick the Phillies, man. They got to get back. Of course, Dodgers, probably the team to do it. It's a nice nod to the Tigers. Blue Jays, I mean, are they a team that regresses? Probably. I mean, could they be a team that made the World Series and then misses the playoffs? I mein, I wouldn't be shocked.
Bo Bichette's a big loss for them. I don't think they realize how big of a piece he was.
Bo Bichette left mixed with there's no way Springer's hitting almost 40 home runs and batting 307 again for them.
Yeah. Ernie Clement had a career year for them too.
I mean, I don't see Springer just like, dude, he batted like 307. It was like prime George Springer last year. It's half the reason I won Fantasy Baseball League.
Yeah. Jose Barrios feels like he's in line for a terrible, terrible year. He's been.
Is that guy even still on the team?
Think so. Is he still in the league? No, I think
that's what I'm saying, because it's going to be Gaussman. Dylan Cease, I guess, is there.
Yeah, he's still there.
Trey Savage whenever he gets back. Shane Bieber whenever he gets back. I mean, the starting rotation has guys.
It does. Can you count on Shane Bieber, like you were talking about, though, to pitching
No, I
him.
just want him to turn back the clock.
It would be
But
cool. He's one of the more fun guys to watch pitch.
yeah, I just don't know if age mixed him with some pretty bad injuries. I don't know if he'll have the same stuff.
Lots of injuries. It's always tough to. All right, so you're going with Phillies over who?
Phillies over Orioles.
I like that.
It's just super weird.
Big year from Gunner and Pete Alonso. It's gonna
Jackson Holiday finds it.
Gonna be so brutal watching Pete Alonso just mash home runs throughout the summer.
Yeah,
He's gonna be really good.
He's going nuclear and Camden Yards.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Realistically, dude, probably Dodgers over Yankees. I mean, if the Yankees don't get there, maybe the Mariners, maybe the Rangers as a sleeper pick. I mean, I really like the Rangers this year.
They'll be a good ball club.
Just because I think the Rangers have enough to get into the playoffs. And then I think they like who was their I think DeGrom. What was it? Hold on, let me pull it up here for a sec.
Well,
DeGrom
be really bad.
Oh, good. Yeah. I don't even need to go into the fucking Rangers.
Yeah, we can. Well, I mean, you could do quick Rangers and then I'll transition it.
I mean, nothing crazy for the Raiders. Actually, before you got back, I took a peek at their I took a peek at the Rangers lineup, and I like the pitching. I think with DeGrom, Eovaldi, Mackenzie Gore, that's a decent three-headed monster. And I mean, Gore was good with the Nationals. He just obviously is the Nationals. He had no help. So you figure in Texas, probably should be a little better. And then Jack Leiter is a guy who's been progressing well and
he's got to have a
and then
breakout season eventually, you'd think.
And then Kumar Rocker's there. He made the rotation, I think. But I mean, they got it says Jordan Montgomery's there, but injured. Cal Quantrell's there, who I don't even know why that guy's there. He probably didn't even make the team. And then bullpen is not particularly great, but Wyatt Langford, Seager, Nimmo, Evan Carter, Josh Jung, Josh Smith, Jake Berger, Janny Jansen, Jock Schott and Jock Peterson, Sam Haggerty, Sam Swaggerty, as the real OGs remember. Andrew McCutcheon's there. I don't know if he got cut or not.
Why?
Mark Canna's there. I guess Mark Canna was who I was thinking of. It might be the dinosaur, not Matt Chapman.
Yeah, he's got to be 36 by now.
Canna's who I was thinking of. Yeah, he's 37. Yep. That's who I was thinking of was the dinosaur, not Chapman. So apologies to Mr. Chapman there. But maybe don't love the Rangers as much as I was talking about. But that is, I know we're going to keep the MLB. We can't keep it short, Brian. It's freaking opening day.
I mean, that wasn't very short. That was a good 53 minutes.
Well, that's what I was saying. I know we tried to keep it short.
Yeah, we can't. We love baseball here. It's probably, I know people find us during football season, some during March Madness, but we talk a lot of baseball during the summer, and we will continue to talk a lot of baseball as the season progresses, and hopefully the Mets and Phillies are in a pennant race until September.
That'd be very nice. That would be very nice.
But we have a long season of baseball ahead of us. Not a lot of college basketball left, which is where we sit in the Sweet 16 tonight, our first couple of games. Since we did go a little long with the baseball, we're just going to go semi-rapid fire here. We'll go region by region, winners of the Sweet 16 games, and then we'll give out the Final Four, which your original Final Four is still intact.
It is.
Mine is not because of St. Louis.
Yeah, and I think some of my predictions here might even screw up my original Final Four because my bracket's so dead in the water. But I guess we jump right into Texas and Purdue. I had them losing in that second round game, I guess it would have been. It was pretty close and tight down the stretch against Miami, but Purdue, I guess, just had a little bit too much to pull it out. But of course, they get out of all the seeds they get Texas.
Yeah, it feels like Purdue is going to get to the third Elite Eight in the 10 years they've been to 7 Sweet 16s. They really struggle to win this game, but this one feels like one they can win. They're shooting 60% from 3-point range in the tournament. Fletcher Lawyer, I think he's missed 1, or he's missed 3 out of his 12 attempts. He's been unreal. Braden Smith hasn't really gotten going yet. And Texas has gotten to play Gonzaga and a BYU team that's not very good, besides AJ DeBansa. It feels like they've their defense has been great. They're holding opponents to 29% from 3, but they haven't played a good jump shooting team yet. And that's exactly what Purdue does.
It is. It is exactly what they do. And we'll see what they can do. But I think Purdue wins this game.
Yeah, we agree there. All right, the fun one in the West region. Arkansas taking on Arizona. Darius Acuff is the only player to have 60 points, 10 assists, and 5 or fewer turnovers in his first 2 games in NCAA tournament history.
I mean, that's insane, dude. I saw that stat the other day, and I was like, this guy is unbelievable. We talked about them having Calipari, and we talked about him having to be the player to do it. I mean, it's a tall task to beat Zona. I'll probably still take Arizona, but at least the way it's trending with Acuff going off, it'll be a lot closer than maybe it would have been before we saw Acuff's first 2 games.
Yeah, it feels like I wanted Arkansas to the Final Four, but then when I looked at the bracket, it was Arizona, the team that has the most wins ever against top 25 opponents in a season. They've done it 12 times entering the tournament this year. They're so good everywhere. They feel a lot like Auburn did last year, except better. Like Braden Burries is electric, Koa Pete's electric. They have the Big 12 Player of the Year in Jaden Bradley. They're just good in every spot on the floor. Where Arkansas, it's like, yeah, they have the Kemba Walker of this March Madness, but I just don't think that's enough.
I don't think it is either, and that's why I'm still leaning Arizona. It's going to be a fun one. I'll be rooting for chaos. I mean, my bracket's pretty busted up at this point, so let's just see chaos. But yeah, Arizona's going through.
All right, so then we'll end out this region. Purdue, Arizona, Elite Eight game. Who's going to the Final Four?
Arizona.
I completely agree. I don't think we need much discussion there. They feel like the same team in terms of they're good in a lot of places. Arizona's just better in all those places.
Agreed.
All right.
All right, South region. I know you have banger for the second game, but dude, might not be a banger in terms of points, but it should be fun. A nice little Big Ten matchup here.
Yeah, no, these two fan bases just hate each other. And this is the first time they've ever met in the NCAA tournament. They split the season series this year. Ben McCollum, this is the first Sweet 16 I was been to since he was a high school senior. And all he does in any tournament is win. He won 4 D2 national championships. And now he's 3-1 in the D1 NCAA tournament. And the last time Iowa beat a 1 seed in March Madness, they went to the Final Four. That was in 1980. I keep wanting to fade Nebraska, and I'm going to continue to do it because Ben McCollum is such a winner, and I love Bennett Sturts. I'm taking Iowa here.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. The coach, he's the old Drake guy, right?
Yep.
Yeah, great. And then I'm just apart from him, and it does, not huge because of the coach. I do love that he's from Drake, but Bennett Sturts, man. I mean, that guy is the reason why this team goes. And I think he has another big game. I think they've already beat Nebraska this year. It is, a lot of people faded Nebraska and they were able to pull it off and get to this point. But I mean, I think it's a terrible matchup for Nebraska to have to play a conference game in the Sweet 16. And I'm going to go with Iowa as well. I mean, they're red hot. They're the closest thing we got to a Cinderella right now. You could say Texas, but Texas wasn't even that good this year. I don't care what anybody says. I'm rolling with Iowa. The closest thing to a Cinderella, and let's see them keep dancing.
Yeah, I mean, Iowa, their best player started in D2, and the guy that hit the game winner to beat Florida started at Robert Morris. So this is a Cinderella team. I don't care
Yeah,
if they're in the Big Ten. This is a Cinderella team.
I agree completely. Give me Iowa.
All right, the other side, a Houston home game, Illinois, Houston. These two teams might have been the most dominant two teams, besides Michigan, maybe, in the first weekend. Illinois, a 35-point win over Penn, 21-point win over VCU. Houston won by 31 both times over Idaho and Texas A&M. They can both really score, which is weird to say about a Houston team, but Flemings and Chris Sinek are that good. And Illinois, Keaton Wagler, of course, the star freshman, bunch of European guys just putting up 15 a night. I think I lean Houston because of Kelvin Sampson, and Brad Underwood has just proven he's not good in the tournament, although he's been good this year. I'm going Houston.
I mean, maybe it's close, but Houston's the better team. They played in the better conference. It's just I don't know how you can go against Houston here. And where did you say they're playing? You said home game for Houston?
The
Pretty
Toyota
close?
Center in Houston.
Oh, I mean,
It's a home game.
That's a home game.
They
I mean,
played
are you kidding?
Auburn. They had their home and home, and their home game was in the Toyota Center.
Yeah, I mean, all the I mean, this is going to be like, is this where they do like, the first game's played there, then the second game's played there, or is there only one game played there?
They're both in the
Yeah,
Toyota
so the
Center.
first game will have like no one there, then the second game will just be an insane sellout.
Yeah, I mean, those Iowa and Nebraska fans are going to travel though,
They
especially
do. They do.
because they haven't been there.
Right.
For Nebraska, they just have never been there. For Iowa, it's been our lifetimes.
The biggest thing is how much of the stadium can the Illinois faithful carve out?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Tough
That's
task.
gonna be really tough, and it's gonna feel. I mean, the last thing you want if you're Illinois is if you're on offense, you have an offensive possession, and the stadium is loud.
Mm-hmm.
It's the last thing you want because you're just not going to be able to get in a rhythm. And Houston's the last team you want to have to, pretty much play on a road game. So for those reasons, this is just going to be probably one of those things where Houston's a better team. They're at home. It's almost like feels too big to rig.
It does. All right. Well, that leads us to Houston, Iowa. You going with the Cougars there too?
I think I have to. I think that again will be. Is that in Toyota Center as well? Or do they switch?
Yes. Yeah.
It's probably there. I probably too much there. I don't know that I can back Iowa. They get a win, get to the Elite Eight, have a nice season, but I got Houston in the Final Four.
I want to take Iowa so bad, but I can't. I agree. Houston's going to the Final Four for a second straight year.
All right. Well,
I really hope they can get over the hump and win a national championship, but we'll cross that bridge next week when we have our Final Four.
When we have to get to that point, yeah. Hopefully they get out of this weekend.
Yeah. All right. The Midwest, Michigan, Alabama. Michigan, of course, Dusty May, 8-3 in the NCAA tournament. Nate Oates has now been in the Sweet 16 5 out of the last 6 years. Alabama, no Aiden Holloway, who denied all of the allegations against him. Not like the cops can see the 2.1 pounds of weed, and that's why he got arrested.
Yeah,
but that's Alabama basketball culture. Michigan only 3 losses all year. I think this is Michigan rolling.
Yeah, it feels like a Michigan roll. Where's this game being played?
That I don't know. This one is it's not DC and it's not Houston. Where else are they playing? It is in the United Center in Chicago.
Who does that? I guess that totally favors Michigan.
Yep.
Yeah, too big to rig again. Michigan. Dusty May wants that championship. It's going to be tough. Or it's not that I don't think it's going to be tough. So give me Michigan.
Yeah, why couldn't St. Louis run into any other one seed? Just had to be Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, they look after that first game they played, it looked like holy shit, maybe Brian's onto something here. But Michigan's just that team that like it's just it does.
St. Louis played well and they lost by 20 points.
I know. It's just Michigan is. I talk about Houston being too big to rig. Michigan, I mean that lineup is loaded.
Yeah, they don't have any real weakness. I mean, they were turning the ball over in the regular season, but they haven't done it in the tournament.
Yeah, that's too big to rig. Michigan.
All right. Bottom of the region, Tennessee, Iowa State. Iowa State expects Joshua Jefferson back. He wants to play. I'm going to assume he plays. They do have their coach, TJ Otts. Not going to try to pronounce his whole name, but there's rumors about UNC going after him.
I think he would be the favorite if all the coaches in the short list that we've seen in these early throwing coaches out with, there'd be other coaches. But again, I've seen Dusty May in there. I don't think Dusty May's leaving what he's got going on.
He's got
in
a great
Michigan.
job.
Yeah, I don't know why you would leave that. I know it's like, UNC, super coveted, but I don't know why he'd leave. I mean, you just got to stick with, like you said, TJ Otts would be the guy that I think. So is there already circulating stuff? Is that enough for Tennessee to capitalize on maybe the coach, the team not locked in and focused? That's us just putting stuff into the air. Iowa State's the better team with or without that guy coming back to play. I know Tennessee has looked good. I question who have they played. I mean, a dominant win against Miami, Ohio in the first round. They beat a Virginia team, which were we really all that sold on Virginia?
They really out-physicaled Virginia. They're not going to be able to out-physical Iowa State.
It feels like they're running into another like brick wall of like too big to rig.
It's going to be a favorite saying of March Madness.
It's just what it's been so far. And like I said, whether the Jefferson guy comes back or not, I just don't think Tennessee has enough scoring to get past them.
I completely agree. Jacoby Gillespie is going to need a 40-piece, and Amen's probably going to need 20 more, and I don't see a world where that happens.
No.
Especially with Taman Lipsey putting Jacoby Gillespie in a torture chamber.
100%.
Right. Michigan, Iowa State, a very chalky Elite Eight. Who takes it home?
I give the edge to Michigan. I know Iowa State can give them a run, maybe hit like a last second 2 to force overtime, but just feels like Michigan's just such a complete game and good enough to just like close out a game, get the stop when they need it, hit the shot when they need it. And for those reasons, I'm sticking with the Wolverines.
Again, I really want to take the underdog in this matchup. I just don't know if I can get past Michigan's just – they have everything. Like, Yaxel will be able to D up and get past Joshua Jefferson. They have the bigs that'll put Momo in hell. And Taman Lipsey isn't really that much better than Elliot Cadeau or Burnett, who's been good in the tournament. I'm going to take Iowa State. I don't love it, but I'm gonna take them just to be a little different here, and I think they can do it. If there's a team that can upset a 1, and I know Houston's essentially the 1 in their region, I think it's this Iowa State team, but Michigan's just so good.
Yeah, beyond good. They're rolling to the Final Four.
Oh, actually, I lie about what I just said, and you'll see why when we get to our next game. I'm taking Michigan. All right, Duke St. John's. Johnnies are rolling Duke in this game. I don't think it's going to be close.
Johnnies are rolling. Here's where I said you might see my Final Four that is still intact. Or actually, I don't even have Duke.
No, you had UConn coming out of here.
UConn coming out of here. Give me St. John's. Duke has looked so iffy.
Really,
they should have lost to Siena.
Yeah, and Zuby will take Cam Boozer out of the game. That'll be essentially a wash in terms of production. And I just like St. John's and Rick Pitino more than I like Duke's supporting cast right now.
Yeah, 100%. I tried to say in the beginning of the tournament, and Brian, you said that they'll have too much.
Yeah, I thought Kansas had enough scoring to get by St. John's, and they almost did. St. John's almost blew that game. And I like
that
Duke
was like right up. Came down to the wire.
I liked Duke in the matchup against Kansas, but St. John's, I think I just like Rick Pitino's bully ball over Duke's young freshman.
I love Rick Pitino's bully ball.
And he'll have the suit on to John Shire's polo. It's just going to give me St. John's.
And there's another one I saw going, I guess, into the betting lines. Teams riding a 6+ game win streak entering the second weekend as underdogs. 41-16-2 against the spread since 2005. That's good enough for 72%. 30-7 since 2011, which is good enough for 81%. Two teams this weekend that fit the bill, Brian. I'm sure you can list one of them in St. John's. Do you know the other?
On a 6-game win streak?
Yeah, well, I mean, don't cheat.
Well, I'm just trying to think. I'm going through the teams here, but I think it's Purdue, right? Because they won the Big Ten.
Well, they would be favored.
They're favored.
Yeah, 6+ win streak.
They're underdogs. Okay.
And underdogs. St. John's at +6.5 is one of them. And there's one more that fits this model. That's at an 81% hit rate since 2011.
Arizona won the Big 12. Duke won the ACC. St. John's won the Big East. Purdue won the Big 10.
Who won the SEC?
Oh. But it's against the spread. Okay. All right. Well, I think Arkansas is 8.5-point favorites. So
8.5 underdogs.
Underdogs, yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Arkansas +8, St. John's +6.5 would be the two bets to take this weekend. In a model that's hit at 81% since 2011. And again, that's 6+ game win streak and our underdogs.
I kind of liked both of them already, so I'm glad to see the math backs it up.
Yeah, Arkansas is tough for me to take money line, but I like St. John's money line a lot.
Yeah, and Arkansas, you're getting 8.5 points, which is kind of a scary number because that's right around where like you don't know if they're going to foul or not foul at the end of the game.
And it's like it's a sweet 16, so like even when they're down 8 with 10 seconds to go, they still foul.
That feels like they're gonna foul Jaden Bradley down 7 with like 3 seconds left. He's gonna make it first.
They're gonna be down 11, hit the 3 to get it to 8,
and not foul.
And there's gonna be like 4. No, there's gonna be 4 seconds left, and they're either gonna foul to kill it, or they're gonna let it go because they always do it, especially when they hit the 3, regardless of how much time's left.
Oh yeah, it's like instinct that you got to foul right after you make a shot.
Right. So I don't know. But I like the Johnnies on the money line a lot.
All right. Well, then are we getting Johnnies versus UConn Part 3? UConn and Michigan State in the nightcap.
Yes. I like Dan Hurley. I think he's a man on a mission. I like the team. Michigan State has been there all along. I probably would have bet this game just because of the Michigan State and Tom Izzo stank that's in the air there. I don't want to get killed on that. I think it'll be a fun game. Probably the two best coaches that are left. Dusty May, I know, is there. I don't love the Arizona guy, but I mean Hurley and Izzo, two gods.
Yeah,
Dusty May's there. I forget the Arizona head.
Tommy Lloyd is the Arizona.
I don't love Tommy Lloyd. You seem like you're a huge Tommy Lloyd guy.
I like him. I don't love him. Like he's not on the caliber of any of these coaches. Maybe John Shire, but Patino, Hurley, or Izzo.
Yeah, I agree. John Shire, I feel like just gets lucky because it's the Duke brand. That's why people go there.
He's a hell of a recruiter. He keeps getting the number one recruit. But I guess
Yeah, but it's
Cam
because
Newton
it's
has a
Duke.
tie with Duke. Yeah,
Because it's Duke.
that's true.
I could go there and probably throw it again. I'd probably who knows? I'd probably get fired. But I mean, shit, dude. When you have Duke,
Yeah.
you can at least field a decent team in an
Yeah.
ACC, which is okay.
Yeah, there is something to be said. Yeah, Hubert Davis just failed with UNC, and you think, oh, it's UNC.
Right. UNC, Michael Jordan.
But it does help.
And to be fair, they were a 6 seed.
Yeah, but they're supposed to be competing with Duke for like the 1 seed.
They lost their best player too.
Late in the season.
I think that hurt their grade. I think if he was there, they would have been a 3 or 4 seed.
Maybe 5.
Maybe a 5. I don't know. I think the committee took into account that he wasn't playing, so they dropped him like two levels.
Yeah, oh, they certainly
I think a
did.
4. I think a 4. I think they could have been a 4 if he was
Yeah,
healthy.
I'll give you that. Maybe 4. If Arizona doesn't win the SEC, or not, if Arkansas doesn't win the SEC, they're the 4, and Arkansas is probably 5. I'll give you that.
Sure. All right. But that's what I'm saying. I mean, losing the best player did not do him any favors.
Yeah,
I mean, if he wins that game against VCU, he's probably there next year.
probably.
So,
All right. I'm going with the other coach. I'm going with Izzo to beat UConn. They're just so inconsistent on offense. It feels like there's just got to be a way that they lose.
But it just feels like it really gets these guys up for these types of moments. Where is this game being played?
DC.
Mm.
And no, I will not be going because tickets are like $1,500.
I was going to say that's got to be an insane ticket price.
Yep.
Same with Duke and St. John's in DC.
Yeah, you get tickets for the whole session, and it's $1,500 to go.
I mean, those are 2 great games, and you got to think, dude. Those are like maybe blue blood is not the right word, but just like heavy brands. I mean, Duke.
Yeah. Well,
maybe not. Maybe not St. John's, but like with Rick Pitino gives them the extra edge.
Mm-hmm.
UConn, Michigan State. I mean, that's an awesome session.
Yeah, I wish it wasn't as expensive as my rent.
Yeah, put in a $5 parlay to win $2,000 and throw $5 on 4 first baskets for the NBA.
There we go. And then maybe I'm in Capital One Arena.
Maybe you are. It's all it takes. Got to be right once. In that case, 4 times, but
4 times, but 1 total
parlay.
All right, you have St. John's UConn part 3. Who's winning the grudge match? I guess it's part 4.
I think, and again, I have UConn in the Final Four, but I think because of how bad UConn lost in the Big East Championship, I like UConn to come out victorious. It just feels like that kind of flip would be in the air. So I'll take UConn over St. John's to punch their ticket to Indy in the Final Four.
I'm going with Johnny's over Michigan State.
Wow.
For my Final Four. All right. So to run through mine, and then I'll have you run through yours. I got Houston, Arizona, Michigan, St. John's.
That's your Final Four?
Houston, Arizona, Michigan, St. John's.
I think mine's Arizona, Houston, Michigan. Wait, did I not break it up? Oh, I guess I didn't. Yeah, UConn. So that is still my Final Four from the bracket.
Oh, you're saying Final Four?
Yeah. The reason I said broke it up is because I said St. John's over Duke.
Yeah.
That's why I broke it up. But there you have it.
There you have it. And we'll see what happens because a few hours after you guys listen to this, who knows? Maybe one of our Final Four teams already lost.
Yeah, this could be a disaster. But for what it's worth, I like St. John's money line. Maybe grab a couple points, take Arkansas plus 10. Maybe that's like minus 140.
I like that.
Texas, I don't even want to touch that game. Houston, I don't know what is their spread. I like their spread.
I
and I think I like their spread. and I think I feel comfortable taking Iowa State spread if they're like 3.5, 4.5, 5.5. I don't know where they're sitting.
I think they were at 4.5.
Yeah. So those are the picks I like. That's where I would lean betting these.
Yeah, give me the Arkansas Arizona over. I want all the points in that game. And Purdue spread. Purdue's gonna kick the doors off Texas.
And what do we get 4 games on Thursday and 4 on Friday?
4 Thursday, 4 Friday.
Then 2 and 2.
2 and 2.
Gotcha. Well, there you have it. That's all I got. Happy opening day, everybody.
Happy opening day. Only right we do an hour and 20 minutes on opening day. Can't wait for baseball season.
Let's go.